Hey, 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 it's Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Hey, good morning, and welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. I am your girl, Mel, and today, y'all know who we got. If you're just joining in, you may not, so let's just do it the right way. Let's give it up for Amber D, the analyst. A lovely round of applause. All right, geez, it's going on and on. And we're going to give it up to the one, the only, Nate the Agitator. We got you. Listen, we got so much going on. So much going on in Hot Topics, and we need to cover them. We're going to do some housekeeping first before we even get this show started. What do I mean by housekeeping? What's happening in your area? Did you see that the gas company, the citizens or residents of Northeast Ohio wanted to go to court because I think we owe like not even us, we don't owe it, but $73 million. And the court said it is not unheard of, or I'm paraphrasing in my terms. It is not unfair for the residents of Northeast Ohio to pay that back.
All I got is $14.
You got 14 on it?
That's all I get. Hey, you ain't gonna bleed a turnip.
Hey, but you know what's so interesting? What's interesting is that even like in our area, like they tax the water. Right. So you got the residents paying that back. It's so many different things. It's like, okay, you're doing it on the backs of people who are on fixed incomes, majority, if you look at the stats. And it's like...
And a lot of the tax benefits and dollars they get go to other projects in other cities. When you say Northeast Ohio, that money don't come to Youngstown. That's Northeast Ohio.
And who paying it back?
Canfield. Yeah, but they don't want it from us.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's why it's really important when you go to vote for your elected officials. You got to understand, even like with the mayor, is it a city mayor? And I'm just using the word man. Don't kill me because it could be a woman. Is it a county man or a city man? That matters. Who's benefiting? So those are things that you really have to pay attention to, lovely people. Those are the things we gotta pay attention to. So, I already know we talked about Shirley Strawberry last week. Let's see, is there an update, Amber D?
There is. Can y'all hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm freezing up. Oh, sorry, guys. But, so, allegedly, Shirley Strawberry's husband, Ernesto, is also a bigamist. So, he has, allegedly, overlapping marriages. So, that would mean that his marriage to Shirley Strawberry is actually null and void, as well as his marriage to his previous wife is actually null and void, because his first wife, the divorce decree was not settled until after he was knee-deep into his marriage with Shirley. Now, this would impact Shirley because if it's determined that she is not actually his wife and that their marriage is invalid, then she is no longer protected under, was it spousal privilege? And that they could put her on the witness stand.
She need to go ahead and go on the witness stand, and maybe she can get her credit back right, her truck, all her stuff.
At this point.
It'll be a win for Shirley Strawberry.
Exactly. So that would absolutely, and my little 2 cents on this is that, to me, Shirley Strawberry and how she contributed to this situation is that this is an example of, a woman placing, I aesthetics, outward appearance over character. It's the more information is coming out about this case, the harder it is for me to believe that she knew nothing and that she willfully ignored things. Like the level of income Shirley Strawberry has, she could absolutely have afforded a very
I don't even know if she can afford it. I don't even know if she can afford that as much money as she done put out with this man. But we talked about it last week, does about money. Sometimes you're just looking for love and you have that money and it's like you have other people in your ear talking about, oh, he just wants you for your money. Okay, well, I got enough to share. I mean, let's be real. And let's talk about those friends or those family members who's protecting your money.
Now she don't.
Yeah, now she don't. But really, think about those people that always be like, oh, okay, well, they just want you for your money. Why are you micromanaging my finances? Why? Because I can't loan them to you no more?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that really crack me up when people say that, oh, they just want you for this. He probably using her for that. What, if she has it, I got enough to share. What we gonna work with, okay? I'm looking for love. So that's why I think that's probably what Shirley Strawberry was saying. I'm just looking for love. I'm cool. I have this. I want to share it with someone and not my cousin or my home girl or whoever it is. Like, it's to me, and I said it before, that's really not that important to me. When it, you got to have a job. You got to be able to take care of yourself. But you have those people that's always in somebody's ear and preventing them from finding love because you constantly worried about what they might be wanting to do to you. Terrible, bad. Oh, they looking for you for this, or they want to. If you live life like that, you're going to be unhappy, always on edge, and stress the heck out. You're going to have that buffalo hump back there on your shoulders, carrying the stress of the world. You know what I mean? But we know Amber D, because she is pro sugar babies. So I had to say that while she was off. But I want to talk about...
I'm not bad at her.
Okay. I want to talk about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. And the reason I want to talk about it is because the internet is trying to show out. He filed for divorce. I'm going to catch you guys up. He filed for divorce. And they're like, well, why? Nobody knows why, but whatever. We'll get into that a little bit, later. But he files for divorce and she wants her husband back. And then you have those women on there talking about something. Don't let him say he don't want you twice. That's a marriage, people. That is a marriage. And she has a child.
A newborn.
Not
even a toddler. A little tiny baby.
What did she do?
Okay, you said, what did she do? We gonna get deep into this because this is the Shop Talk question of the week. Let me get it. I got the number up there for y'all. All right. The Shop Talk question of the week is, does family moving in cause problems in the relationship?
Yes. Next question. Next week. See you next week.
What you got, Amber D? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think that it's a stressor. It doesn't mean your relationship is going to collapse, but I think it's absolutely a stressor.
I think it depends on who it is.
I mean, your relationship, it's another burden. In addition to all the other burdens.
So that sounds like a yes. If it's another burden in addition to.
Yeah.
And I also believe it depends on who.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that you can't.
I don't know what's happening. Amber D is doing something special.
Commodore 64. That's what it is.
That's what it is?
You got a Commodore 64 over there. I also believe that it depends on who's moving in.
Okay. So with that being said, elaborate, Nate.
You remember earlier about a woman and her son? It's just like two women, two queens can't be in a house. Two kings can't be in a house. Yeah, it depends. And her standing, I'm looking at it from a male point of view. If she's bringing someone into the house, her standing with that person if she got a meddling mom that just always running her, and then she brings that woman into the house, then there's a problem because her mom is, pushing her agenda on her daughter who can't stand up to her mom. Or if she got that mama's boy's son that don't know how to do nothing for himself, he definitely ain't gonna make it here. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it depends on who. Different degrees.
Now, I've talked to, okay, I'm looking at the comments at the same time. So for the listening audience, Juliana Hosey of Facebook said, there you go. Who's moving in?
Thank you, Jay. That was for me, right?
All right. Now, here's the thing, though. When you have someone moving, I talked to a guy, and I think it goes to what you were saying, Nate, where the guy said her mom moved in and she helps, but the mom is doing everything. He said, I feel like I'm married to the mother, but sleeping with the daughter.
Mm-hmm. Which ain't too bad. Hey, if it's a good mama, she ain't cooking in that microwave. Everything, she ain't got nothing to do but get home. Girl, you supposed to treat your man like this. She cooking mac and cheese from scratch. Oh.
Did you hear him?
That's not bad at all.
Yes, and I agree. It depends on who's moving in and then the dynamic. And if they're driving, I also feel like there's a cultural component to it too. But yeah.
But if that type of mom is moving in, you ain't got no excuses talking about you too tired. From what?
But whose house is it?
Hey,
that's where it's at.
Hey,
we're gonna go a little deeper. Let's get this show started.
Okay.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
All right. I'm like, before we go, let's get this show started. Okay, Amber D, you hit the nail on the head. She said culture. So all in the culture.
Right, and as Nate was pointing out, like when you pointed out, like, well, who's running the household? In different cultures, it's more ambiguous, especially when you have an elder in the household, like who's deferring to whose judgment or whatever. So I think it really is. It's a very like case by case type of situation.
It is.
Well, guess what? This case by case, this is allegedly the reason why Jeezy said I'm out. Because her mom...
allegedly it was cheating.
No. And it
like
the update... Exactly. No, the update is out, and it was her...
He could deal with him cheating, but he couldn't deal with her mama.
The mom and the brother ends up moving in. But see, let me say this. I'm as... Regardless, and I understand their culture is very different, even when they got together. It does matter to me. Because even like when they said that's not a bad thing, well, the problem is you just said like a son can't stay there either.
No.
So that would be the same as two women in the same house. Who's trumping who? And it's like, well, wait a minute. And you'll have a child that's there and she's an adult child, but it's like, wait, I'm a kid again in my place. Like, this is not okay. And then if you have a spouse who's running your house, she's not running it anymore. Right. It's like, because you got that level of respect. Now, some people are very disrespectful, but when you have that level of respect, things that you would normally do on your own, you don't do while the mother's there. So are you really being your authentic self? No. It's like you're stunted. Your growth is stunted. Go ahead, Amber D. What you got? Now, if Amber put her hand up and we can't even hear.
I know. We say
Go out and come back in.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I just want, and I play.
It's all bad.
Okay.
We can't hear nothing.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
Man.
Go ahead. What you got, Nate? Derek Clark on Facebook said it's just not a good idea.
Right. I mean, it depends because shoot, I'm the only one that's wrestling in my house. So if your mom coming, her man ain't coming over and kicking it unless because all companies to leave at 10 o'clock. My door is shut at 10 o'clock. I'm like Lowe's. Hey, I'm closed at 10. So if it ain't just us in this house at 10, I have the set of rules in my house. And no matter who I allow to live here, I still have to maintain being the king. Does that make sense?
It does.
But if that's altered or stuff like that, I can't have your son here and he's not doing anything, and I got to come home from work, make sure there's food here, eat and drink all my orange juice, and then cut the grass? No.
Worse than that, take the trash cans off the street.
Right.
That drives me. Listen, that drives me nuts. I have never seen. When I seen that, that's a pet peeve. I just got to address it. There is no way in the world that you have a male child and your trash cans are still on the street from Thursday or even that next day. That is the weirdest thing to me. And I'm going to tell you this. I have had somebody come to my house and my trash cans, because the trash came that day. And if you didn't bring my trash cans back, don't come back. Don't come back.
I used to take your trash cans up.
You did. I appreciate it.
When I worked in that field. Yeah.
Right. You did. I appreciate it. There said, there you go. Here go his saying, talking some, get somebody else to do it. Go ahead. All right, Amber D, I want to hear your point. Let's see if we clear.
Okay, I hope y'all can hear me now. Okay, so my point is that the cultural differences were there from the beginning. So they both knew that going into it. So to me, if the mother-in-law and the brother dynamic was the basis for him divorcing, I think that's pretty weak. Because it's like, you knew that before you started to date her. And then you created a child, and now you're exiting out of the situation. I feel like that's one of those things you should address before you agree to get married.
They weren't there before the marriage.
Right. I kind of disagree. I don't know.
That happened.
I want to hear from a male's perspective. Go.
Okay, here we go.
It's anybody.
Okay,
whoa.
Wait, go ahead. Let me hear you, Nate.
You can tell me if I'm wrong, but she came for money. She had her own money, right? So his place in the kingdom was not top shift. Now she moving other people in. So listen, I ain't talked to Gigi in 2 weeks, so I don't know what he going through. But if he come into a woman who already has this, then she's bringing other people. Oh, that's my mom, and she's continually putting these people over her. I totally understand. Because the natural order of things is God, man, wife, children. And we act like, oh my God, when we don't follow that order. You expect it to still work. And I mean, I ain't Captain Religious or, nothing like that. But looking around, if you look at the ones that are working, you can see the natural order of it. So if he was not put up here because she already had her cheese, she ain't need you for stuff. You can't tell a woman. I can't tell Oprah everything I feel. She tells me to shut up and calm that stuff down, Nate, and I have to. But that's mine and her relationship. Me and her, me and Rihanna. Rihanna could get away with a lot of other stuff with me that regular people don't.
Okay, go ahead, Amber D. I want you to read the comment. Is she
okay? So Terrence Rhodes of Facebook said it matters, but if you allow someone to move in, there needs.
I'll read it. It's bad. I'll read it.
On boundaries, especially when dealing with parents, might just have to be established. It should definitely.
It's bad.
Okay.
It's bad. Okay.
I hope I don't fall
okay. So Terrence Rhodes, Facebook said it matters, but if you allow someone to move in, there needs to be clear expectations on boundaries, especially when dealing with parents. Clear guidelines just have to be established. It should definitely be temporary and short as possible. Why are they moving in? Why are they moving in to begin with? That's the $1 million question. So, should there be a timeline or a limit?
You can say that. It's nice to
That's
say.
something that should be discussed in advance.
No, it's nice to say.
Because
okay, at what point
happen,
do you kick out your
especially
mama?
with the elderly.
But see, no. See, let me say this. Let me say this. I hear you saying with the elderly. We need to classify.
It just depends.
Her thing is so off she can't even hear. Look, I'm like, yeah, you can't even hear until after it's delayed. When you deal with the elderly is very different because if you look at what's happening now, you have mentally and physically capable parents, i.e. Jeannie Mai's mom, who is moving in with their children under the name or in the name of helping, and it's not really helping them because you're stunning their growth, so to speak. Especially when you're dealing with, let's say, a middle-aged person who is like, okay, well, I'm looking for a husband. I have a friend of mine, true story, mother stayed with her. This guy wanted to marry her. He left her because her mother was there. And some people felt some type of way about it. And I said, it's interesting. They felt some type of way about it because they like, okay, well, what if that's me? They were looking at it from their standpoint. But that guy said, I can't even be fully with you with your mother in the next room. Or, and it's like, well, what does he want to do? Maybe he just want to be who he is and can't out of respect. He's not there. And why should they have to go somewhere else to get it going when it's her house or his house? You know what I mean? And so that relationship dissolved, but he said it. He said that was the reason. And I feel bad for her because she really was in love with him. But in this case, I won't say that she chose her mother. I would say that, wait a minute, let me try to get this. I would say that she didn't make a decision, and which was her own happiness.
Well, I mean, when a man can't walk around his own place naked, it really takes the fun out of it. It really, I had to get dressed for this show.
Darn!
Damn, I got to wake up and get dressed.
But those are things that people may want to do.
But and as a man, you got to respect him because he said, I'm not going to sign up for this because my happiness counts. And I wouldn't be happy in this situation. So you got to respect him and understand him. I mean, he looked at it and said, you know what? I'm allergic to oatmeal, so I'm not going to eat all this oatmeal. I'm not going to be around all this oatmeal because it breaks me out.
And I'm going to add this, and I'm going to let you talk, Amber D. And he had his own place. He had his own place. She could move over there with her children. But what's she going to do? She was focused on her mother, who was not an elder. She was not elderly, and that's the difference. And when you're talking elderly, I'm thinking like 80, sickly, you can't walk. You know what I mean? They need help. Not somebody that is mentally and physically capable of doing for themselves. And they just blocking. And it's like, okay. And I felt her because it's almost like you can't be the adult. It's like you're still the child. Go ahead.
Here's something.
Go ahead.
If she had all these options you're telling me, the more you tell me the story, the more I'm on his side. He had his own place. She wouldn't move over there. She just chose her mom over him. If he had his own place and she had the option of saying, hey, okay, well, I'll move in with you and we'll just take care of my mom at here. Mom can stay at my place. That was another option. But if she had all these options and she...
Oh, no, he didn't want mom at his place.
No. Mom could come. we'll maintain this over here, and you move in with me.
Now I don't know nothing about that. Now see that maintaining.
Hey.
Listen, y'all heard him. Like if you gonna maintain that over there and there, then that was the best of both worlds. But I don't think he could afford all that.
Well, if it's an option and she didn't take the option, if her number one option was mom, was that her number one? Well, stay with your number one, because you ain't gonna come slumming with me. No, listen. If mom had to be here, and this is pre-relationship. Mm-hmm. So this guy had a choice either to sign up for this or not,
and he did not.
Yeah, gotta respect it. That's just not what he wanted to do. But if they were already in it, that changes everything around. Because you ain't gonna throw out my mama. But I can tell my mom, all that noise coming from my room is my business.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Everdy. What you got? I really want to hear you.
You can hear me. So, from what I understand, the mother was not living with them. The mother she's not that old. She has her own husband, and she has a home in like Texas or somewhere in another state. And so she had temporarily moved in with them to be, quote unquote, to be helpful with the newborn baby, right? So if it was supposed to be a temporary situation, B, there were other options. I just feel like divorce is extreme response. It seemed to me it's giving running, because there was multiple options. Not only that, if Janine Myatt's mother is a toxic mother, which allegedly she is, again, that was known information prior to them getting together.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
You giving this dude, you just making it every excuse for him to run away. What he said got his point across, didn't it? Now, if you choosing mama, it means, listen, we got $8 billion between the two of us. We don't need her here. We can buy her house 2 blocks down. So her mom moving there and this, that, and the other. If he did not want it and he wouldn't listen to any other way, he's saying, I'm not dealing with that. She's toxic. He's using your women's vernacular, saying all this stuff, and he's leaving, and y'all jumping on him. Hey, he didn't want this old lady living with her. There ain't enough money that they didn't need her to live with her. Listen, how many nannies can you make with their salaries? So there was no need for mom to be there. Mom probably wanted to be there. And then you black Americans. You disgraced the family and married outside of your race. You know how they feel about us anyway.
He knew he was racist before.
Well, guess what? Don't come to my... I know you're racist. I know your mama racist. But me and Mel, we still together. But her mama's racist. But now her mom gonna just come move in my house. And when I'm saying, you know what? Keep your mama. I'm out. I'm wrong. Come on, Amber.
Okay, let me put this out.
There's not anything in this situation.
Wait a minute. Let me say this. Let me give you a little backstory on Jeezy. Jeezy was that dude, okay? If you don't know Jeezy, even before he got into the rap game, he was that dude without me disclosing any information. So you could kind of, alpha dude. So you could kind of tell Jeannie pursued him and kept pursuing him. He was
her other husband.
Yeah, her other husband, she all white husband, and she wasn't, I don't want to have children, I'm not trying to do this, I'm not trying to do that. She became submissive with Jeezy. Now let's bring it back a little bit. I don't know this information, but let's just say Jeezy had an overbearing black mother. So his experience with a mother might have been telling him what to do all the time. And then, boom, now this is my own place. I've been living by myself. I'm chilling. I got my other children, which he does have. And then I go here, and then all of a sudden, somebody's bringing their mother in. I'm not about to move back in with my mother, even though we know that that's what they do in that culture. Huh?
I just got off the phone with Jeezy.
Okay. What'd he say?
He said.
Joking.
So her Japanese mother saying, you did great by marrying this white man. Now you're going to leave this white man for this Negro. You did our family a great dishonor. You have dishonored the family.
Role play alleged. I'm covering myself on everything.
Yeah. I don't want to get us canceled. You have disgraced our family. I do not like African. Get someone else.
And then he left, and now you left with this baby.
Right? Oh, just like Mama said. Confucius say, black men never stay.
Okay, listen, I gotta go to these comments. Oh, Amber, I wish yours was working good. And you good or no?
Okay.
That would be
Amber,
it.
try it, because I can't read.
I can try.
Okay.
Okay, so G. Dub Robinson of Facebook said there is a difference between culture and cultivation in a household. A man is in charge of cultivating his household and the direction that it goes. A man can't cultivate a woman and her mother.
Now there you go. Real talk.
I wrote that for him.
Here's another one. Go ahead, Amber D.
Okay, so Cornell Stevens of Facebook said, if she is healthy and can do for herself, no moving in. But if it's health issues, she needs to move in. I'm cool with that because I don't believe in nursing homes. So again, yeah, I think it was situational.
DQ all the way around.
And see, and that's where there you go. Here you go, Nate, just for you.
DC. Hey.
Talk about exactly.
Keep dunking on the DC.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, we have someone. Go ahead, Amber D.
So Juliana Hosey of Facebook said, at one point I lived with one child and two moved in with me. Right, and I actually had my mother-in-law and father-in-law live with me for a period of time. So it's absolutely something that happens. And I just feel that based on their income, their history, there were other options than divorce. So,
do you understand, Amber, if your mom or dad moved in with us, if you can't control that narrative, it would never work. Because at what point, and okay, now you have to be able to control the narrative.
Wait, I want to hear him.
Exactly.
You have to be the one to control that narrative. Because I can't say at any point, well, you got to kick your mom out. I don't care. Where did that ever work?
Right. And what I'm saying is that it's a case-by-case situation. They both knew backgrounds and histories. And then there were other options.
Well, here's the
thing.
And
I just feel like allegedly, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but GZ was packing his bags and planning his exit out of the relationship months and months in advance.
If this was known, and he said he's not going to put up with this anyway,
wait.
If I see the train coming, I ain't going to stand on the track until he get here.
Okay, let me say this. They were having issues prior, and see, that's where this turns. This conversation changes. They were having issues prior, and the issues were, she said that she has anger issues. And she actually said it in an interview, and she said she didn't realize it until he checked her and was like, oh, wait, you can't talk to me like that. And so they were having their issues prior. So now you already have an issue, and then you bring your family in.
Well, here's the point.
We're bringing more issues.
This is me speaking for Jeezy. You better run, because when the cops come and see this frail, innocent, Japanese, affluent woman sitting there crying, talking about you hit her, ain't nothing you can do, dog. There's nothing you can do. He looked at the playing field and he said, hey, listen, this girl already mean and already got attitude and already just that and other. She holds all the power in that situation. He's just an N-word in everyone else's eyes. They got rich, living off of her. Let's just take his accomplishments away from it. How does it look? We take away all his accomplishments. His name is Nate Woodard. He married this rich girl on a baby on her, this, that, and other. Disrespected her whole culture because she got with him. She got issues. They got issues. And then I'm going to bring your racist mom in.
Why you keep calling the lady racist?
Come on.
It's not even bring your racist mom in there because it's known that her mother was racist. You bring a baby into it. You have a mess of a relationship. And okay, let me throw a baby in there too.
Hey, I love you at some point. I'm just not willing to deal with all this other stuff. I love you and I still love you, and I want us to make it. And I was cool until you threw your mama in it. Guess what? That's the straw. Did what?
Broke somebody's back.
Exactly. It's just a straw. And Amber, no matter how bad you want to make him out to be, you're wrong. Hashtag Amber's wrong in the comments, please.
No, I think that, you know what, like, okay, as Mel pointed out, they were already having issues. Personally, I think this was a fetish-based relationship. Because in-law issues, as we've got our listeners chiming in, where they've moved in temporarily or permanently, or different situations have transpired, she has a history of anger, like, it wasn't the best foundation to begin with.
It had to be some way because he actually married her. So it had to be something. It had to be good. And see, that's when people put on this is how it's gonna be. So you're like, okay, I can do this. And then once I do, you be like, who's that? And my thoughts, why stay? If you already know, why stay 10, 15 years wasted if you already know if we address this issues, and I don't know Jeezy personally, but just, knowing the background and watching him, if we discuss this, I'm not going to keep saying this over and over. This is it. And that's how I am. I said it once. Okay, I might say it twice, but if I see that there's nothing, I'm out. And it's always everybody else who has their input to say, oh, well, you need to do this. I don't need to do nothing. You need to date them because you could tolerate that. I can't.
That's right. Tell Amber. Because Amber, he ain't allowed to have this thing. But if we flip this script, Amber will be sounding just like you. Well, she told me.
No, I'm not saying. No.
You get the list.
No, I'm not.
Whatever.
Okay, what I'm saying is nothing to me. Like, we're all speculating, and all these issues were known prior.
Okay.
This is not secret.
I don't think that they were.
This stuff is
Even if they were.
I don't know.
Even if there were, that straw. You added another straw to what we were dealing with. You, Amber, I told you, I deal with your snoring, I deal with your jacked up feet, I deal with all of this stuff. But what I would not deal with is you moving your mama in here. Who has money? We can buy her a house. Listen, you're snoring. That chitlin souffle you keep making, I don't really care for, but I dealt with it.
Watch this.
Straw.
Watch this. Her mother has a husband, and the husband was okay with her going to stay with the daughter for how long? Clearly, we know there's an issue.
That tells the whole story about how her mama is.
Listen, if her husband go, do what you got to do.
Hey, she needs you. She needs you. As long as you want. You should make sure the baby gets to first grade okay. But Jesus wants to just sit there and take that. An overbearing mama and a woman of means. Poor Jeez. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for Jeezy because he definitely went.
He don't even need one. He got best-selling books out there and everything.
No. So we can't talk about this whole thing from a minimum wage perspective.
True.
We can only speculate.
That's why I'm asking, and that's why it's the Shop Talk question of the week for us minimum wagers out here.
Okay.
Does family moving in cause problems in the relationship?
Depending on who.
What do you mean by that? Because see, it isn't.
My mama can move in.
Absolutely.
But your mother can move. Your mother can move in. Of course, you would. Watch this. You're not going to have a problem when it's your people.
Of course. But I won't have a problem if it's Amber's people. But Amber has to have a certain amount of control over her sons. I have to be able to discipline this dude. I don't care if he's 21 or 20. Hey, dude. I woke up, went to work. Why are you still in bed? Well, he played his game all night. Not in this house. There's rules to go here.
And
if
see,
I can't implement my rules to her son, he gotta go. So there's a difference.
and that's when the relationship is not going to stand, because that child has been there the whole time. And how you just go walk in and want to just flip the script?
Whoa. Now, that's different. If that child's been there, I'm moving into his house.
Yes.
Okay, well, guess what? If I'm moving into his house and I'm married to his mom, I have to have some type of relationship established with him. I'm going to tell you something that I did with the one I got upstairs. Her oldest son was there. I asked his permission to date his mom because they were living together. I asked his permission because he was the man of the house at the time. I couldn't come in here and be like, yeah, this is my place, this, that, and other. He had to submit her to me. Because it had never worked if I'd have came in there, Captain Caveman beat my chest. So if I'm moving into her house, there's ways to do it. But I have to establish myself as the dominant dude. Any man would.
So how would you do that if a single mother has a son and she's looking to get married, and that may be the situation? How do you come in?
You have to come in humble. You can't come in like a storm. But, like I said, most men don't deal with women with single sons. They'll take a single daughter, but a single boy, a single mama with a boy. Ooh,
Why is that? Let the people know.
A woman that I said it before, a woman that throw away her daughter for her man. Throw a daughter away. But her son, that nigga is the king.
Wait a minute. What you got, Amber? Hold on. One more time, Nate. What you say?
Don't tell me Amber's agreeing with me.
Wait. Go ahead. What you say, Nate? Say that again. Talk about what you just said. That needs to be heard for the listening audience. One more time.
I said a woman will throw her daughter away for a man. But that boy is her king and can do no wrong. That is her true love. So a man coming into a situation where a woman, a single mom, is with a son.
It ain't working. That's a losing battle.
That's a hard. You playing Brady in his prime against Brady and Jordan in their prime. Yeah. So a lot of men be like, you got sons or a son?
So that could be the issue with single mothers with sons.
Yes.
So that doesn't make the man look weak.
We don't care how we look. We don't want that. Oh, you say that I'm weak, Mel. You say I'm weak. Oh, and you tell all your friends, because they speak from a victim standpoint, you know what? He wouldn't take care of me, Tyrone, and Leroy. So he weak. I'm sitting
and your homegirl's like, girl, what you mean he wasn't having your son, right? Go ahead, Amber D. Okay, wait, I want to hear Amber D. For those who don't know, Amber is a widow, and she has a son, and a widower. Is that a widow? Yeah. And she has a son. So go ahead. What's your question? You got the floor, baby girl.
Okay, well, I hope I'm not breaking up too bad, but I think that it absolutely can work. We actually touched on this, I think, when Ronnie was on the show many episodes ago, and I said that this is a part of the cyclical nature of the problems in the Black community regarding Black men, because Black men don't want to mentor young Black boys that are not their sons. So, and then as far as throwing away their daughters, I completely agree with that. And that kind of goes into the other larger scale problem with Black women prioritizing men above not only their children, but of themselves, a la Shirley Strawberry. Okay. So I think there's absolutely some validity to that, but it's something that can be done if the man is interested and willing, and the woman is also, on board with it as far as what the pecking order has to be within their household. But if the woman is like, oh, my son's equal to the husband, then it'll never work, obviously.
Amber, did you?
But that doesn't mean what?
Did you hear what you just said? You agreed with me when I said throw away the girls. But you get this whole elaborate story about, well, that's
I
the
am.
problem. That's the problem with all these men. They won't stand up and be a man for the sons. Listen, the son needs to be chopped in his throat. The son needs to be shown discipline. And the son needs to do all this other stuff that most women won't allow a man to come in and do. So that's it. I agree. We throw away the son. You said, that's right. We throw away the girls, but we can't find men strong enough to come stay with the immature men that aren't their sons. Because you won't let us. I'm coming in and be like, listen, he shouldn't be cussing at you like that and smack him in his face or smack him on his ass. You would have a problem with that. But then when he's 14 and want to fight you, you looking at us like...
Okay, let me go to the comment for the listening audience. I'm putting these up so you guys can check us out for the listeners out there on YouTube at Shop Talk with Mel. And feel free to subscribe as well. Hit that like button and that notification button, okay? Cornell Stevens of Facebook said, it's hard today. Wait a minute. All these comments are coming in and them bounced up on me. Okay. It's hard today that woman that has a grown son because of the testosterone, because the son going to feel that this is my house and this man is coming in to invade my space. I get that. I get that.
9 out of 10. I can see that part.
You saw that part? Yeah. What is it? Out of 10, if the son is growing and he's still living with his mama, he's a mama's boy. And then most mothers are so protective of their sons, it could be ridiculous. And Nate is definitely going to agree with you on that. I like this one as well. Marcus McQueen. Wait a minute. Marcus McQueen of Facebook said, women don't like the way men put their children in a child's place. Let me say this. It's cool.
Nate was right again.
It's cool. It's cool to a certain extent. But then you have to deal with a dad who, some are there and some aren't. A dad missing in action, and then a man comes on the scene, and then all of a sudden the dad or that son want to come on the scene, talking about don't do ba 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 to my child. Now I have to ask you this question. So we got that out the way. Let's talk about the mother with the adult son and a man coming in. Teach us about that, Nate the Agitator.
Well, Cornell Stevens helped raise me. He was an OG in the neighborhood that punched and kept me in order. And my mom never said, Cornell, don't touch my baby. Hey, you need to stop. You need to learn to work around that. So in my day, it was different. Thanks, Cornell. But for the grown people, for the grown kids, what is he doing here anyway? What is he doing here? Well, he needs my help. Guess what? My son never came up to me and said, hey, Dad, I need help with learning about doggy style position. Is it better? Is it deep? No, he figured it out. So they'll figure out what they will need to figure out. But if you're there and they can keep running to you for the stuff that they don't have to do or don't want to do, they're going to use you for it. But guess what? Nobody's kid here on this panel said, I'm wondering, should I do a reverse cowgirl? Or they figured it out. The kids will figure it out. And if you grown, hey, listen, bro, it's your time to get out there and swim. Get off my boat. Mama never go anywhere if she got that dude on the boat. Because he ain't going to pay no bills and this, that, and other. And the sad part about this is women equate that to true love. Because guess what? I can't leave the toilet seat down. But that son will come leave junk all over the house, talk bad to you and this, that, and other, and then you go pay for his phone bill and this, that, and other. You expect the man to come in and fix all that? No. Your alliance is to that dude. That dude right there. And it's sad because Mike Tyson said a man can never find true love with a woman because a man is looking for a mother's love, but a mother loves you for you. A woman loves you for herself. So it's totally...
Mike Tyson said that?
Mike Tyson is incredibly wise. That dude, he be dropping some stuff that changes my life. But Mike Tyson said...
that's where he get it from, man.
Hey, you better check in. A mother loves you for you. A wife loves you for herself.
Amber Dick, you want to go to the comments?
Okay, I'm give it a stab. So Carnell Stevens of Facebook said it's hard to date a woman with a grown son because you got testosterone and that son feels like he's invading my
Uh,
space.
Nate, like,
I'm looking for my
But
glasses.
that son is a red flag.
okay, all
But
right.
that son didn't just turn like that overnight. That son was raised like that. He didn't just
Right.
wake up one day and say, "Oh, this is my house."
Right.
That another. He was raised like that.
Okay, let me ask you this. You meet someone. Everything is copacetic. He looking for his glasses. Okay. Everything is copacetic. And you like the person, and you find out that they have their 30-year-old son living with them. Which turn on or off?
I call Amber in order of the largest red flag that she has in stock.
You know Amber be having her red flags.
Oh my God, she don't seem to have them today. She doesn't seem to have any today. That's tripping me out. Oh, Gigi's wrong.
No, it's absolutely a red flag.
It's a red flag.
I say it's a huge red flag. It's a turn off. No.
And you walk into that slowly and cautiously. I'm not saying it can't be done, but if I'm not the king of my castle, it doesn't work.
Okay. So do you say just put the child out? Like how do you do that? Because here's the thing. If you have those stipulations and it's like, okay, well, I want to give this a shot. So I'm going to put this person out to give this a shot and then it doesn't work. And then what? Or unless you wanted that person out anyway.
First of all, you shouldn't want a 30-year out of your house. You should. If he's there, it should be stipulation. He should be paying some type of bills there and helping you out. He's not there just chilling. That's the problem. Now, if that 30-year-old is, hey, my house is being built, blah, blah, blah. Oh, nigga, knock yourself out. You buy these beers? Yeah, you grab one. It's different than I'm just sitting here, Mom, 30. I'm hungry. So? You 30. Mama, I'm hungry. I need something for my cigarettes. I ain't got no weed to smoke.
That's crazy.
These are true quotes, people. These are true quotes.
That's crazy.
Mom, you before you leave, go get me something to eat. And then you expect me? Well, you're not there for me as my man. And you just get the other. If it ain't a red flag, exit Amber.
What you got, Amber D?
Yeah, what you got, Amber? What you got?
I would say don't proceed with caution. I would say on a bigger scale, first of all, you're coming into somebody, you're meeting someone, you're getting to know them, whatever. You don't know really what their family dynamic is or their history is, but to me, unless for example, what Nate said, they're having a house built and it's a temporary, and I like how many of the commenters were saying that this should be agreed on in advance, and that was my whole point. This is something, if you're going to do it, then there should be boundaries, expectations, and a timeline. But as far as a new relationship and there's a 30-year-old child there, to me, that sounds like a codependent dynamic. And that's not something you're going to, just like Nate said, that's not something that just manifested overnight. That is something that would take years to unravel and get to a healthy place. And, then you'll be blamed for pushing out the child, and maybe the parent didn't really want to do that. It just sounds like, on an emotional level, a big hot mess. And I wouldn't recommend it. If that's their dynamic and that's their normal and their baseline is that my adult child just lives with me just cause, basically, it's a no for me.
Well, you know what? Even more so, to me, when you have people who feel like, okay, I'm here, it's just a sign of selfishness to me. If I'm in that situation and I see, okay, well, this person is about to date they dating somebody, they really liking someone, I'm looking for a place to stay. I'm like trying to remove myself so they can have their happiness or establish whatever it is, or just kind of get to know each other.
Here's the thing.
Even like children, I think the worst thing you could do, especially when you're dealing with a new marriage, I have seen where there have been new marriages where the mother came in. That's selfishness to me. And under the name, and look, I'm using air quotes, in the name of help.
Well,
that's not okay, because allow them to know each other, because that's a new dynamic. They're married and living together now, so they need to learn each other. Why do I have to learn you and your mother and your brother and sister who don't have a place to stay? And if all these people got to come in here, I didn't marry those people. Remember we had that conversation? Me, you, and Nick the Voice was on. Remember Amber D? And we had that, and she was talking, and it was the example of, oh, his family like me. I don't care if your family like me, because that ain't who I'm dealing with.
I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to do nothing with your family.
Exactly. And it's better, because then if they don't like me, I know they ain't trying to come ask for nothing.
Here's the thing.
But okay, but that's back to, that's something that you should know. Like, if that is how your person interacts and engages with their own family, like the door is open to relatives moving into your home, that's something that should be discussed in advance before you start getting serious.
Here's the thing. Yeah, okay.
Like, oh yeah, it's okay if my cousin and my auntie come stay with us. Like, I have an open door policy. Like, maybe that's y'all are not good for each other.
Okay, I'm gonna read the comment. Patricia Gandy Baker of Facebook said, "I agree, Nate, but you got to make sure you are doing the things a king should be doing." Amen. Like taking care of the home and treating their mothers like queen. Now wait a minute. Now wait, whose mother? Your wife's mother, like a queen?
Listen. When my wife,
because it can't be two queens in a house. Because when the mother is in the house, the mother is the queen. Then now the wife, she back down to a princess.
Here's the thing, little me and Pat G, 90 class sister. When we have family gatherings, and if her father's over here, he's just at the head of my table. I buy. No one's my son. I have a chair in this house at the table. My son won't come. We have a position at my table. I'm on one end, and my son is down there. Now, my daughter, who's older, sits off to the side, to the right of him, because there is a order. Now, I respect her father. And if my dad come over, nigga, I'm just sitting out. Hey, Pops, what do you need? Because there's an order. My father went through stuff to give things so I can be the man.
So your father knows. Okay, let me give this for the listening audience that aren't viewers. Patricia Gandy Baker said, "No, the wife." So okay, and that's a good thing, because I'm like, wait a minute. If the mother is the queen, then the wife is the princess. Okay, so if the wife is the queen, then I guess the mother of the wife will be the attendant. She moves over to the attendant.
But you respect. You always respect.
Okay. Let me ask you this: since we did that, you're in a car. It's your husband's driving. It's you and his mother. Who sits in the front seat?
Here's the thing.
Answer this. Wait. Answer this. Who sits in the front? Who sits in the front seat? Amber D. I'm about to mute him. Who sits in the front seat? Amber D.
I'm gonna probably say wife.
Okay.
I feel like it's interchangeable. When I think that it's because I feel like if we're talking about elderly people, mother-in-law.
No, we're not talking about that, because I'm gonna tell you these mother-in-laws are not elderly. These mother-in-laws are not elderly. Listen, these
matter.
They're young.
They're young, right? So stop with that. I'm like, let's take that out. Because see, when you think elderly, you think somebody with a cane and all that other stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, you let them come back. Absolutely. When they can't do for themselves, you definitely open your door. That's totally different. And half the time, they probably don't know what's going on. So you all good, and you still could be the queen of your castle. They ain't in there trying to burn nothing to eat. Okay.
But
But when in a vehicle, Nate, you said the mother sits in the front.
Yeah. Why?
Go ahead.
Because it's a respect thing. You respect your elders. If a kid who's not even mine is around and he lives off the basis of I'm going to respect my elders, he would offer it. He would offer the seat. Just like if the girl's on the subway and she's got her bag or whatever, an older lady's on the subway, I get up and give her my seat. It's a respect thing. Now, in my situation, my mom would say, no, baby, I'll sit in the back. You sit up there with your husband. Or if there's somebody else, they'd be like, you guys sit. That's why you see the married men sit in the front and all the women in the back. It's a respect. If you're built on respect, you always respect your elder.
Now, let me say this, because she's right on this one. Patricia Gandy Baker of Facebook said, most real moms will automatically sit in the back, but I will offer my mom or mother-in-law the front seat. Now, listen here. And that is true, because usually you have to be like,
Give me a call, Pat.
Let me tell you, real talk, you look at it, you be like, it's harder for them to even get in the back seat. I'll hop in the back, not a big deal for me. But for some people, they feel like, no, I earned my position. And it all is based on what we talked about at the beginning, at the top of the show. Cultural. It's all cultural. And how you were brought up. And if you like, okay, well, I finally got my time. I know my mother always sat in the front. This is what I learned and this is what it is. I finally got my position. My generation, the mother will sit in the front seat. It's respect. But you have mothers, wait a minute though, but you have mothers who would just hop up there like this is the way it's supposed to be. No.
I don't care how she feels. I'm being respectful. If my mom or whoever mom feels that way, okay, that's how she feels. But at the end of the day, I was being respectful. And guess what I'm responsible for?
You?
Me.
Okay, go ahead, Amber D. What you got?
Yeah, and I think that also something that kind of comes up, just a side note, is the hub-son dynamic and why that can sometimes be challenging. And then when Nate mentioned that the married men will sit in the front and then the wives sit in the back seat, I didn't think that was about respect, but about safety, because like the data is that it's more dangerous to sit in the front seat of a vehicle than into the back seat. So if you were to get into a car accident or something, or y'all were to get robbed or something, you're more likely to get injured sitting in the front. So I thought it was more of being protective. The women and the children sit in the back.
Okay. If it was my husband and his homeboy or something like that, and I just got in there, I'm gonna sit in the back seat. You know why? Because who is trying to be looking back, having a conversation? Like, it just don't work.
Right.
It just does not work.
I agree.
If our value system is in place, you wouldn't have a lot of the problems we have. That's
why it goes back to culture. Culture.
Guess who has the worst culture? Whose culture has been raped, stolen, and nothing? You go to any city, you know where the Chinatown is. You only know where our place is by the 1 street sign. MLK.
I was about to say that. Isn't that terrible? Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That's a mess. And you'll be like, okay, well, let me see. You know why? It's so watered down because we don't even know ourselves. And we just keep adapting and allowing people to tell us what to do.
So with Janine and Jeezy, and if our culture is so horrible and we're the ones lacking culture or understanding of these basic pecking order hierarchies, then okay, so then it was okay for Jeezy to leave then. That doesn't jive with that. It sounds like Jeezy couldn't get in line with the pecking order.
He's the king. It's his pecking order. She chose him.
And I mean, she chose him. She chased him. And listen, guess what she doing right now? She asking for her husband back too.
Exactly. And this was the straw. Listen, Amber, I'll come back if your mama. Buy her a house. I don't care. I'm not staying there with your mama now. You know she be looking at me side-eyed anyway. This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Listen, I ain't mad. I'm not mad that she chasing him either. She want him. She wanted him at the beginning. She got him. You see, and guess what? They got married in their house.
This is why.
So it wasn't a big to do. She didn't need that.
Work. This is why alpha female doesn't work.
Alpha males and alpha females don't work. You don't think so?
No, it don't. There has to be a clear leader. Look in the animal kingdom. Pick a king. Pick any animal.
A lion.
Wait. Except the penguin. Leave the penguins alone. They're an abomination. They're an abomination.
Okay. If you don't know, just go and check it out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I could give them a quick lesson.
No, because we got a show to do and we focused on this and we have to help the people. I told you this is all about motivation.
Okay. You remember in my book that I said this?
The Book of Nate.
Maybe a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. Whose happiness comes first? It all plays into that.
Whose?
Okay. Mel, Amber, in a relationship, whose happiness comes first, a man or a woman?
Mine. I don't know about his, probably theirs, but mine for me. And if I'm not happy, I'm out.
You're a unicorn. Go ahead, Amber. Whose happiness, a man or a woman, comes first in a relationship?
I would say, like, socially commentary. I think the man.
That is correct, Amber, and we in agreement. A man happiness is coming first in every relationship. Ask me why.
Why? Why is always a good question. That's what my mother says.
I'm glad you asked there, Mel.
Okay.
Because a man's happiness doesn't change. He'll go to McDonald's and order number 7 from here on. His happiness doesn't change. A woman's happiness changes versus the situation. I will fight you on
Come on, just go ahead. Just keep going.
Your happiness deals on the situation. You're not happy because of this. You're not happy because of that. Or that went that way, so your happiness changed. So as a man, if I concentrate on your happiness, nothing gets addressed.
I'm going to agree with you on that because we change our minds.
If you put a man's happiness first and he has a clear path and a plan to his future and your future, his happiness comes first. And it don't take much. Hot plate, favorite position. That will be his happiness from here on out. And it's easy to tell if a man is happy because he don't use the W's. Who, how, where, not how, but who, where, when. He don't say that. When your man is happy, he'll never say those questions. You'll say, hey, I want to go such and such. A happy man will be like, I don't got to go, do I? Okay, well, have a good time. But a man that's in turmoil that you ain't taking care of,
I don't have to go. Listen. Listen, when you get married, you are the date. You are the forever date.
I got you, but there's certain things I don't want to do. And if you want to do them and I'm content, I don't have a problem. Yeah, I ain't got to go do it. All right, well, have a good time. But if I'm not happy, well, who you going with? When you going? Where y'all going? This, that, and other. It's real simple. Men are the simplest. All men are dogs. There you go, Mel. All men are dogs. We're simple. And if our happiness stays the same.
Quote, end quote. Go ahead.
Our happiness stays the same. So if you can do my happiness, which is real simple, I play favorite position. That go pretty much across the board for men. And take care of little other stuff. It don't change. You have to just do this. With a woman, it changes every time the wind blows. So guess what? I got to sit here and worry about, okay, is she happy? How's this gonna affect her? Oh shoot, is the wind blowing from the northeast or the southwest? Oh, well, I got to do all this on top of work, on top of provide, on top of protect. So no, if a woman can understand, just make this dude happy, and it's only gonna take you 5 minutes out of the day. What? He wants his greens cooked like this. I put chitlin sauce in it, not but that's what makes him happy, and that's all it takes. And he'll do.
Do they got chitlin seasoning?
Hey, wait, it's special. It's hitting the market.
All right, go ahead.
With that, he'll do whatever you need him to do. All men are dogs, easily trainable. Just do what makes him happy.
Now, all of them ain't trainable, so I'm going to act up and then you crap somewhere, you got to go to.
Well, that's you, Mel, and you're a unicorn. And it depends on what breed of dog you're dealing with.
That's why I said, what's the problem with the alpha female and the alpha male? I think that would actually work.
Okay, Mel, you alpha. Listen, you can't do your show at this time. I'm going to do mine. You move your show.
Oh, heck no.
Move your show, Mel. No. I'm alpha male. You alpha female. We in a couple.
Let me tell you how it'll work. Watch how it'll work. This is how it'll work. I'm doing my show. You could go in another room and you could do your show on another computer at the same time.
Alpha male says no, because I need you on my show. You don't do your show. You do mine.
No, we'll do both of them at the same time and we'll stream.
Mel.
I'm a problem solver.
That's not solving the problem.
That's compromise.
That's two alpha people
And
battling
then
each other.
Nate is calling that being the alpha, but it's really just being controlling and unwilling to bend.
Why? Maybe
And there's a difference.
Maybe listen. A man plays chess. He don't play checkers. He knows what this move is going to do for the overthinker. A good man knows what this move will do to help us win the game.
Okay, well then we can talk.
If I am saying, Mel, you got to move your show time, and you can do it on Tuesday between such and such. It ain't me just being alpha. It's me being the leader and seeing something. But you're alpha, and you're gonna want to fight it.
No. Let me tell you, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Intelligence. And if you see something better, be like, oh, okay, well, boom, boom, boom. And we're looking at the ratings. And look, and we consult Amber D, the analyst, and she's saying, well, the stats show A, B, C, and D. I wouldn't have a problem. I'll be like, all right, lovely listeners, check this out. Boom. And there you go. Amber D, you're right. It's called a compromise for the betterment of both.
So, are you following your man when you're calling Amber D and all this stuff, or are you just doing what?
Okay, right.
Oh, I'm doing the research myself, and I'm gathering data.
Blindly following someone.
You ain't blindly following.
You're saying you want someone to
blindly follow your husband.
you.
How you gonna blindly follow your husband?
Who doing that?
Exactly.
You got to show me some examples. You have to be, listen, listen, you got to build my confidence up. I need to make sure that you are capable of.
If we're married,
yes,
your confidence should be built.
Your confidence should be built, but not in everything. But not in everything. Because you might try something new and like, okay, I think this is a good idea. Guess what? And I'm not going to share the incident that happened, but they thought it was a good idea. I said, okay, in my mind, it was a bad idea, but I support you 110%. And guess what? The deal fell through. I ain't say a single word. I was like, oh no, we're not. I'll invest this amount. So I'm supporting you. And then they had to come back and say, oh, okay. Matter of fact, they didn't even say nothing about my investment. Because I knew that was a throwaway, because I knew it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But I'm your cheerleader. Yay.
That's all he needed.
Right.
That's all he needed. That's what he needed.
That was the cheerleader. There you go.
This show has been brought to you by Meow Mix.
Let me tell you something.
Y'all gonna
we got the power. Now so Marcus McQueen at Facebook. Marcus McQueen of Facebook said the wife needs to be submissive at times, and so does her husband. I agree with that, but let me say this.
Whose fault does it lie? Come on.
Let me tell you one thing about submissiveness. And with this whole Jeannie Mai and Jeezy thing, she wasn't submissive to her first husband. She's submissive to Jeezy, though. You see, that's why she want him back. He just up and out. Listen, we shouldn't have to be told to be submissive. We will do it automatically if we got the right person.
Facts. Facts. But guess what? Do you think that Jeannie Mai's her name?
Yeah, Jeannie Mai.
You think she knew how to be submissive?
No.
After bullying this other dude?
Probably not, but guess what?
That's why
she out there, she want her husband back, and she telling everybody, I'm fighting for my marriage, and I'm so proud of her. Get what you want.
And she's at a place of submission and humbleness that she's never been before. So it's weird to her. So she's gonna get out here and say.
But guess what? If you want your man, go get your man. And I'm
for that. But it was a hard lesson to learn. But I bet you mama ain't at the house.
I bet you she probably was like, bye, go back to your husband, brother, go do your little stuff. This is this is me and my happiness. And I want to read this comment. Hold on. A lot of old school behavior was enforced by fear. The woman had no choice but to stay and deal with the behavior because, no education, jobs, and they stayed and dealt with it to make sure the home was taken care of. Absolutely. And now it's a new day. And I think it is a good thing that you are there because you want to be there. But I want to say this to my ladies. You have with this whole thing why they trying to slander her, talking about I can't believe, don't let him say he don't want you twice. Girl, bye. This is a whole marriage. This is totally different than we go together. But when you are with somebody and you want that person, I don't know why females listen to their friends to tell them everything that's wrong in their relationship. See, you wouldn't deal with that because there's a lot of things that I would never deal with, or I would never date anybody that you would date. So let my situation be mine. And if I'm able to deal with it, let me deal with it. And I want to speak to Pat Gandy, who said it's a lot of old school behaviors. That is true. You have these men out here, though. I want to say this too, and it might sound contradictory, but you have these men with they want that old school behavior with the new school generation. And it's like, wait a second. What they say, you can't make a hoe a housewife. You want your housewife to be your hoe. And like, come on now. And then when you can't control her, because you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to marry this chick because she does all the tricks, boop, boop, whoop, de whoop. And then you like, why? Worried about insecure, worried about if she doing those tricks on somebody else, or when y'all go out, like, did you sleep with him? Did you do this to him? Did you do that to him?
That's important. That's very important to a man.
You
want
but your virgin, she ain't experienced, so you don't want her.
Well, here's the thing. Women want a traditional.
Thank you, Shauna. Old school behavior without old school responsibility.
You're right. And she's right. Right. But if you want a traditional man, he wants a traditional woman. You don't want a modern woman. Watch this. How many bodies? Okay. I would add my mom, my grandmother, and maybe my great mama body count to the women that I have to choose from. So they get old school traditional values because they don't have the body count or the thing.
How do you know? Because how often have you? Where did the saying the milkman's baby come from? Quit playing on my phone.
Let's get personal, shall we?
Go ahead.
Would you say most of the women you know have more bodies than their mothers and their grandmothers?
Nope.
No? Nigga, where you live?
Nigga, I'm about to give it back to you. Nigga, have you looked at some of these children and be like, y'all all got the same dad? They said they did. Look, they said they did because they all got the last name, because you ain't got to tell everybody what happened. But let's keep it one. Wait, let's read this comment. This is important here. Renee Royalties of Facebook said, what people need to realize, being submissive means being submissive to God. Being married means you should already have an understanding of who each other are and what they stand for. You both should be willing. Oh, I got my glasses on my head. I'm trying to see. Be willing to be receptive to both people, thought with an understanding of both needs and the mentality of allowing each other to be who they are without change. Now, we change every 7 years, though. Y'all know that, right?
Amen. I'm going to go with, what's her name? Renee?
Renee, yes.
R? Her new name is Double R. Welcome to the show, Double R.
Okay.
And we here say, I agree with Nick.
Just give her the rules, right? Give her the house rules.
Yeah, but she's right. But guess what? If you're married, all this stuff is done premarital. I should know his relationship with God. I should know his walk with God. I should know his relationship with his mother. I should know how he acts around my kids if I have them. I should know how he treats his kids.
Oh.
All this stuff is done pre-season.
Okay, pre-season, Nate. Watch this. Pre-season. So at 50, since I'm 50 now, at 50, you got to go back over the resume. Like, please submit your resume and let me review it. And then we can go ahead and date. Things may have changed out of experience. So my first marriage, you sit there and be like, I could look at my first marriage and say, okay, I see I done called Amber D. Amber D showed me the little red flags that I know I ain't going to deal with no more. So, and then you have people to say, oh, you bringing on baggage of what happened in that previous relationship. No, I know the outcome. I know the outcome, even though it's different people. Listen, even though it's different players. It's different players. But if we gonna do the same play, let's talk football. If we gonna do the same play with different players, and we know this is the team that always beat us off this same play, they studied it. Why am I doing it?
You're right, Cleveland Brown. But
That ain't. I'm Steelers, baby.
That's right. But
exactly. But listen, let me tell you something. Them Cleveland Browns, they committed people. So listen, people, if you marry a Browns fan, you got them for life.
Well, I mean, hey, I slept with your mom and sister, but I mean, I won't do it next time. Maybe next year we'll win. Yeah. Go Browns.
I'm not setting that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come, I'm done. Like, that ain't the move.
Yeah, it ain't the move. But here, oh man, I lost my thought. You said something. I had a nice one to come back.
Go ahead. What you?
I said, it's just like I always said. It brought back something I always said. Golly, I said it at the last show.
Go ahead. Think about that, old man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you got, Amber D?
I agree. As the one comment RR said, this is premarital, and that's my point. That's my criticism of Jeezy. This is all stuff you should have known. Like this is stuff that was there prior to y'all getting together, and you should have came into an understanding and an agreement about it. And like we also said, I hope they do reconcile. I hope that she should go chase her man.
Get your man, girl. Get your man.
Yes, they should work it out.
Go ahead, Nate.
I remember. It's because we're at 50. We're not playing the game. The game ain't the same as a 20-year-old.
Right.
We still want to play these 20-year-old rules. When we were 20, we supposed to come together and build. At 50, hey, man, you can maintain, I can maintain. We got a little extra. Let's do this.
Well, see, you worked harder at 20. At 50, you worked smarter.
Yeah.
Now, Renee's Royalty said that you don't know the outcome because all people are different. I've experienced the same play with different people, thinking the pattern would be the same and missed out on opportunity with believing it to be the same. Baby, that's you. I'm no gambler.
Ask her what's her favorite team. That's a Browns fan.
What's your favorite team? Double R.
Team RR.
Let me see. Julianne Hosey Facebook said, I agree with Nate. Don't bring baggage to the new marriage. Don't accept the worst. And everyone in marriage is different. Absolutely. I agree with that 110%. Everyone is different. However, this is me, if you see, even though, watch this. If I see that, I'm going to save you time and effort. Because what's going to happen is if you constantly are in that relationship and you're trying to prove yourself not to be the other person, that's a lot of energy. And that relationship is not going to last because you're constantly trying to show I am not this person. So that's dead. Me personally, if I see, and it's the same play, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm pretty constant. Real talk. If this is how I am and I know, okay, you said you work construction. Guess what? Already in my mind, you work construction. I'm going to ask you the question. Do you work in the winter?
No, I'm off till May. I work in construction.
Now watch this.
Yesterday was my last day.
Now watch this. See? Exactly. And then guess what that means to me? That means that every time it rains and we live in Ohio, this ninja ain't going to be working.
Okay.
So I ain't going there. Bye. Call it what you want.
On a good thing, you could have had all of this.
Could have had all that.
All of it.
Be like, can I put up with this person on every rainy day?
Hey.
And then you got the, I work too. And then they sitting there chilling like, boom. But I ain't never dealt with nobody that just be chilling and don't do nothing.
I caught up on Days of Our Lives. Girl,
yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset that you packing me a lunch.
Hey. Now, if the world roles were reversed, let's flip that around. Would there be a problem with you staying home?
Who, me? It would. No crickets. I could not, me personally, I don't think I could be like a housewife. I be done built the whole shed in the back because I got to move. I got to do something.
Well, that's good.
Or I'll be writing books or doing something. Double R said she's confused. Why would you not go there? That's just me, my personality.
Yeah, she's a unicorn, Double R.
Yeah, my personality is just that. I'm not a gambler, and I'm black and white. You got some gray areas, but I'm black and white. I just really feel like that.
She's a unicorn, but the people still want to know, what's your favorite football team?
Steelers all day.
No, double R.
Oh, I'm like mine Steelers all day.
I'm Steelers all day too.
So at Days of Our Lives, I'm like, let me know what's going on. I don't know. I'm just like that person. Now, if you're off sick, if we're together and you're off sick, I got you 110%. 10 toes down, I got you. Real talk.
I plan on being home scratching.
And I'm going to need you to wash your hands and go to Bath and Body Works, get some more soap, because I know you're going to run out all the scratching you're doing. Look at him. Look at him. He's so ignorant.
That's what you do after you
scratching and sniffing.
Watch that off. Woo.
Nope. Okay. Now see what we not gonna do. I ain't gonna go back and forth double R, because that is not like saying nothing. I did not compare it to the teachers in no way, shape, form, or fashion. This relationship stuff and my personal preference have nothing to do with occupation. Yeah. So not going down that rabbit hole.
We speak in generalizations.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And look, and she don't know where I work at, so that's totally off. Right, Amber D? Talking about the teachers, like, yeah. Okay.
In the real world, I wouldn't hate Amber D as I do here.
Okay. Yeah, generalization. But the honestly, that's just personal preference and what you like, what you'll deal with, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And then you also have that person that'll come in and be like, oh, that's why you're single. You don't know everybody's single because everybody don't put their business out there. Like Jeezy had a problem with this. Now, I'm with you on this, Amber D. Did you see where she loves social media? She loves social media and he doesn't. He's pretty private. So that poses a problem. Right. Now, yes, he did know that coming into
that's
it.
That's a big red flag.
But he knew that going into
it.
And
again, that is a big thing, especially in our modern age. Like, how do you relate to social media? What do you consider private and what do you consider appropriate public information? Again, that was known from the beginning.
That's it. That was known.
Naturally, because
Amber,
social media, that was known information.
Amber, so at what point is that straw? Where's the straw that's going to break Jeezy's back? Because you're steady blaming this on him. But you're blaming it all on him.
There can't be straw. I'm not saying... No, what I'm saying is that I think they can reconcile.
Maybe.
And to me, that's not... There are issues that can be worked through. And absolutely, I think the mother needs to go. You know?
The mother needs to go.
We all agree on the mom needs to go.
Mom needs to go.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody agrees the mom needs to go. But at what point you keep on calling G? You've called Jeezy a cop out. That's a sad reason to leave. Blah blah blah. We understand you're pro woman. Just be pro fact from some time. Just a little facts. Don't.
Oh, he came for you, Amber D. He came for you.
Her theme music next week will be. And this is Amber D, the ambulance. I am woman, hear me roar. This could be her.
No, the Eye of the Tiger. That'd be hers.
Theme music. I am woman, hear me roar.
Shira. Like, listen, for real though, you have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. And if listen, when you get into those relationships, I am this person too. I do my background. Let me see what's happening. What we dealing with. Can I tolerate you? And the benefit when you're over, I could say over 50 now. When you're over 40, I could say, actually. When you're over a certain age, the things look a little different. I'm not focused on how your family was. How are you today? Because there's a lot of people who don't even fool with their toxic family as an adult. They had to get there. Yes. So that's why I just look at the person that you're actually with. Well, now, wait a minute. Now, when I'm younger, I'm looking at your morals and your values. The benefit of dating now or dating somebody that you knew from your past and you know their moral fiber, their values, what they came up, that's a blessing.
It
Because
is.
then you like, oh, I know the stock you come from. Versus having to do some research and then you're like, okay, I don't even like their family. Like, what the heck? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? At this age, I'm looking at the actual person. Now, if you don't have a relationship with your child, to me, that's an Amber D red flag.
Yeah, that's an amberish.
Yeah, if you don't have a relationship with your child. Now, if your child toxic,
Amberish.
out there, you know what I'm saying, and dealing with certain things, you can be like, okay, I'll feed you with a long handle spoon. And I mean the handle real long.
Well, I mean, a guy don't.
But to not have that, it's like, that's your own blood. And this is just me and the way that I look at things. If that is your own blood and you don't deal with your own blood that you've created, that tells me that there's some type of self-esteem issue within yourself that how can you not love you?
They say
that's me.
If you raise your child, you can enjoy your grandchildren. But if you don't raise your child, you're going to have to raise your grandchildren.
Not yet. Amber D, I think you probably just talked about that a while ago, didn't you? It was. I feel like that was like, yeah, because she gave the stats on it, and it is the truth. They do. Most people do. Because we're talking about with the school age children and how the grandmothers.
I haven't seen my grandchildren. I haven't seen my grandchildren in weeks, so I raised my kids around.
There
I'm
you go.
Calling to get them to come over.
You calling to get them, huh?
Come on, see Grandpa, miss you guys.
And that's a good thing.
3 hours later, you need to come get these kids. Yeah.
But in some cases, real talk, in some cases you can raise yours the best way that you know how. And you'll find them, they still out kicking it. You done raised yours, you allowed them to have a good time, they still out partying and kicking it, that they just dropped some babies off.
And I bet you, you didn't whip them kids as much as I whooped mine. Because if you raise them right, they would know. They would understand that going out there and party is something you can do when you can afford it. You got the means to do it.
Now let's talk about that. Yes, going out to party, fine and dandy. But when you have children, responsibility, there you go. When you have children, responsibility, that's priority. And then once they grow up, then go ahead and do you. That's why it's a lot of grandmas back on the bar stool.
If you raise a child a certain way and that's the way he will go or something like that, if you raise a child talking about responsibilities, they ain't going to be at the club kicking and throwing the kids at you. They're not. And I ain't hop on.
Nah, like dang, but for real, think about it. Like, if you raise them, boom, there you go. But you got some that don't know when to bring it on back in.
Listen, my children know, both of them, hey, I am your last option. Because if you come and ask me for something, I'm going to say, well, did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try
and that's
this?
not, and you know what? And that's whack because the mother is the first option.
That's the problem. I ain't got to go no place else. Mama, fix it. Okay, Dad, hey, listen, did you try doing it this way? Did you try to figure it out for yourself? That's the exact whole problem. Because Mama just fixes it. Hey, Mom, just that brother. Fix it. That's the issue. In itself, that is the whole problem. You come to me, hey, you need to try to figure this out for yourself. Because I'm not always going to be here. When I die, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. And that ain't the time to be learning.
So tell me, why is this, what is that, talking about some, did you ask your mother? Why do y'all revert back to that?
No. I don't think you asked your mom. Did you try other things? No, no, I'll never say did you ask your mom. They won't ask their mom. But you have to get out here and try to figure it out for yourself. Because if you go straight to mama and she fixes it, what have you learned? And that makes you dependent on her. And guess what? Mama got to be dependent on her kids. So she can't come with Nate to Cancun. Because her kids need her to do this. And her son needs this. And her this needs this. Tell them, little bastards, no sometimes. Figure it out. Because if they can't figure it out now, they'll never be able to figure it out. And you will have a 30-year-old in your house talking about, Mom, we ain't got no milk in the fridge. Oh, so you ain't figured out, go down to the store, take some money and buy it? You waiting on me to go get the milk. Oh, okay. okay, son, I'll pick some up on the way home. You just got to hold on. Well, Ma, I don't want to wait that long. Well, hey, I have some money hidden under this such and such. Get it. Go down the street. Get it. Well, it's hot outside. Well, here, I'll have it Uber to you.
That right there, that's extreme. I can't help. Let me tell you something. I can't help but to smile because I'm gonna tell you something that happened.
Oh, Pat said something that was very interesting.
But listen, my son was 14 years old, tall as all get out, and I remember going to the garage, because from my house, go through the house to the garage, and I looked in the back room, and I was on my way to a store. And he was laying on the couch, watching the TV up on the wall. And he said, Ma, can you give me some ice cream? Let me tell you, this is 14. I lost it. I lost it because what I saw was a grown man asking me for some ice cream. Let me tell you, I cussed him out so bad. He was like, what? And I was like, and you sit here laying down, ain't doing that whoop-de-whoop. 14.
But guess what? He's a good young man before. He's a great man for.
Yes, but he was cool then. But it was so funny because after I gave it to him, he like, huh? This baby was only in the 8th grade.
But you can see what that did for him today.
Listen, I can see what it did for me. I'm not about to be sitting talking about something. Can you buy me some ice cream? What?
I can share my story. I was 17, and me and my dad can always talk. But me, my dad, one of my best friends, Stephen Woodbury, we at the side of the house. I said, hey, Pops, can I get $20 so I can take my girlfriend to the hotel? Steve was like, and my dad stopped. He said, so let me get this straight. You want my $20, and I ain't going to get to fill on the booty one time? Oh, no, if you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out. And I said, this dude is absolutely right. It changed my life. He said, if you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out.
$20? Where's y'all going to the Wii?
Kings. You know King. I mean.
Oh, I don't know Kings, but I know Kings. That's out by the bingo hall.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. This is, we got to let it's a family show. It's still a family show right now.
We done passed that with all kind of extra stuff.
I was like, can I get $20? I want to take my girl to the hotel room. He said, so you want to give me my $20 and I ain't going to get to fill on a booty one time? If you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out. And that lesson changed my life. Changed my life. I have to figure it out myself. If I want it, I'll figure it out myself. And I'm not running to my mom because this is another true story. Man, I called my mom. Hey, Mom, can I borrow the car? This, that, the other. Me? You can ask my brother. You can ask both of my brothers. Hey, Mom, can I do this? Oh, well, let me talk to your dad. Never mind.
And see, that's a good thing. So that's what's missing. The revert. How can we shift it to somebody else?
You have to be strong enough in your relationship, and you have to vet your man to allow him to do that. You have to allow. G-Dub was on here. Me and him talk a lot. But his son, if y'all see his son, he gonna go pro.
Go ahead.
And he does a lot. But he tells his son, hey, look, if you don't want to do anything, send them to me. Be like, hey, well, you got to talk to my dad. So it takes the onus off of him, off of you in this situation, off the woman, and puts it on someone you can trust and that's going to lead it the right way. So as a woman, if you pick a man that you can't trust, then he ain't whooping my kids for just no reason. He's whooping him because he needs that lesson to be taught to him. See, there it is.
No, see, because I have to disagree with you on that. Why you coming in wanting to chastise mine?
Because he needs it.
How do you know? You don't even know him.
He's a man.
Go, wait, let Amber D chime in.
Only iron sharpens iron.
Go ahead, Amber D.
I just want to, so I feel like Nate is talking a specific demographic of single mothers, and I absolutely think it's true, but I think there is a much greater demographic of single mothers who are letting their children, their sons, run the streets. They're not raising them. I was a quote I read where it's like, you didn't raise your sons you just housed them or something, where they're
Yep.
very disengaged mothers.
Right.
They're not protective of their sons. They're
Okay.
not concerned about their provision, and then they're out in the streets. So it's not all single mothers, and it really does, because I feel like, especially when Black men talk about their mother trauma, their childhood trauma, and you know, because they came from a single parent household and their mama didn't do this, that, and the other. I feel like it's absolutely a spectrum. Also wanted to point out that I am pretty pro-woman, but I don't support Shirley Strawberry, as we've mentioned already. So, in your face, Nate.
Whatever. You don't commit to her because she took a bad, she did a bad thing. But here's the thing. In all of that,
No, she
no matter if she was a loose, I'm not saying loose as in sexual, as in loose as in parenting mother. That boy, there's a place for him.
Well, Shirley Strawberry has a daughter, and her daughter got a restraining order against her husband. Okay.
Change the channel. I'm talking about the mothers. She was saying there's different mothers. I say the mother that's loose and let him run the street. Oh, there's a place for him that he will have to learn and he will have to listen. So if he don't get it from in the home, they got places for him.
And you know what happens. So, and that mother is putting money on them books.
Exactly. So as a man that you chose to let in your house, and I want to, guide your young son in a certain direction that you don't feel is right. Okay, well, he can listen to me, or he can listen to somebody else. But at one point in time, your son is going to have to listen. He's going to. And it ain't all about his feelings, how he feels. And women who are nurturers concentrate on his feelings. How does he feel? You know what? I don't feel like going to work every day. But guess what happens if I don't go? If I follow my feelings, Nate's broke. And Nate won't have internet.
You better be putting it down, brother. Now, listen here.
Nate will have internet like Amber D.
You better be putting in that work other ways. If you going to be sitting there ain't bringing in the money, you got to do it some other type of way. Like, have dinner cooked. Like, you got to kick in.
My feelings, I feel like I should just be able to sit here and play PlayStation all day.
Man, I will burn the PlayStation up.
You would, man.
That right there, I'm not lying to you.
Hell, how many other males you know? How many people like you know?
I don't know. I just know me.
None.
And all you got to do is say, I play PlayStation. I checked out. I checked all the way out. The only thing I don't check out on, if you be like, I play fantasy football, I'm like, okay. Okay. But PlayStation, like, when do you grow up?
Y'all see my background on the look of
it looks fabulous. When do you grow up, though? That's where it's like...
Well, guess what? If I got a mama that's doing everything for me, why do I have to grow up? What? Amber, I'm hungry. Mom, I'm hungry. My mama want to go. Can you take me such and such? Hey, Mom, can I borrow your car? Hey, Mom, I need a couple $2 for my weed, man. I got to get this.
Now, see, that right there, right? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. If you tell me...
JJC, time out. JJC, jail, prisons. There's level to this, dog. I just care about how my son feels. He don't have to do that. Don't hit my son. Mama, give me your keys to your car.
Let me tell you something. EFF your feelings. This is reality.
But no, how many women you know like you, Mel?
I know a whole lot. They should be like that and just keep it 100. But let me tell you something.
Exactly.
Keep it 100. This is what it is. And if you are direct with your children, when you're direct with them, they'll be direct with you. You might not want to know everything, but they'll be direct with you and they know how to come at you. I know some children who try to get back at their parents by having grandchildren and keeping the grandchildren away from their parents. If you keep mine away from me, guess what I'm going to say? Cool.
But here,
when they get grown, they'll find me. Otherwise, like that, you missing out.
Mel, when you liked me and you were talking about me and you introduced me to your mom and your mom said, I like Nate. He's a nice guy for you, Mel. what does that do to you?
To me?
My mama like you. I can't do that. That's how it happens in most situations.
I don't never say anything.
I feel like that's an indication of the relationship with their mother, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes back to culture. Because some people,
I'm not moving. I don't plan on moving in with mine. Bye. Live your life. Be free. Be able to be all that you can be without any stipulations or stunted. I want you to be you. And then that allows me to see who you actually are and how well I did. Real talk.
To bring the situation around, Jeezy was introduced to her mother, Black American. He thinks you should never.
Go ahead, Amber. Do you want to read that?
Not him. Yeah,
okay.
I hit it.
So Patricia Gandy Baker of Facebook said, this conversation about our children touches home, especially with my health issues. I tell them almost every day, get it together, because I'm not going to be here forever for them to come to for help, whether great or small. I raised my oldest daughter the old school way, but the younger three, I was always working 16 hours or more a day on an ambulance. So my mother raised them because I was out providing for them, and she spoiled them. But that's my fault because of the bad choice I made with my ex-husband.
Ooh, it's not your fault.
Now, see, I love her transparency. I love her transparency.
And it's not your fault, PG.
Because you were providing.
With the cards you were dealt.
Yes.
You
played it right.
You played your hand the best way. But guess what? We all know that 10 of clubs wasn't working. It wasn't walking. That 10 of clubs wasn't walking. But you played it the best way you could.
There you go.
It's not your fault. No, PG, don't you come with that.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. Yeah, her daughter, the big joker. So she know, hey, let me help y'all.
Yeah.
So something was instilled there.
Right.
Let me help you. Hold me when you really need me.
Right.
So they still have a go-to person.
When you lick it, you stick it on your head.
Bam! Right there. Okay.
Right.
So you did good, and I wouldn't say that bad decisions because you're trying to do the best that you can, providing.
You had to provide.
Now, in this case, sometimes, like, when you had them extra people in your house, like them brothers, and I don't have a place to stay, and then they want to get mad at you because you have a place to stay, and you're not giving them a place to stay because they kicked them out. And then you want to talk about me to everybody because I won't let you stay here. No, you're not about to mess up my stuff. Your stuff messed up. Look, you didn't need no help messing up your relationship. That's why you by yourself and don't have a place to stay. I don't need help with you destroying mine because other people and personalities and the way that they view things can cause an issue in a relationship.
Well, yeah. I mean, but like I said, there's a difference. If my son come here, knocking on the door at 3 a.m, I'm cracking the door and be like, what's wrong, man? She tripping again? You better go figure that out. But my daughter comes, and she coming with luggage, with grandkids. She can always come back. But I am still grand, exalted King Booba in my house.
And now see, so your son...
I have authority to whoop everybody to watch.
Okay, wait. So if your son come, he got to figure it out.
Man. He's a man. Figure it out.
That's foul. That's foul right there. I'm speaking on that. That's foul because let me tell you why. Let me tell you. See, Amber got something to say on that too. Amber, you go ahead with yours. Go ahead, Amber D. Go ahead, Amber D. What you got? I'm gonna go off so you can speak.
Oh, okay. I know I'm breaking up real bad, but just I would say she's at fault or that she's wrong, but I think she was acknowledging how important it is who you choose to procreate. She had to step out of her maternal role, raising her children in order to be a provider. So her story is a reflection of the dangers of women face when you procreate with a man that won't provide for your offspring, whether y'all are together or not. Like, Tyler Perry, in his comment, people are applying it to us poor minimum wage folks. Well, it's actually directed at very wealthy women. But even in us low income folks, it's highly inappropriate. And that's how I took her story.
Just be a provider. That's my whole thing. If you work at McDonald's, fine. Just be a provider. Do what it is you can do. I would talk to somebody that worked at fast food, because you know what that says? That says they don't care about their pride. They're trying to provide for their family. Mad respect for that person. I want to say what Shauna said. Shauna was like, that's why a lot of men feel like they don't have anyone or anywhere to turn to when they need help. And that's why them chicks out there, I'm going to say this, be sitting there doing your sons any type of way, thinking that they ain't going to have no place to go. Mine will always have a place to stay. And I'm going to say that, but it'll be a limited time. There are times, there's a time span, and there's things that is required real talk. So do you want to deal with me or not? Yeah, so then you think twice, like, I ain't going there because I already know I'm going to have to hear the lecture.
Also,
go ahead. Okay, she broke up. Darn. Right. But, you know, you have to, when you say you open the door and be like, figure it out, you got some broads out there that play too many games. I've seen them. I know some. Very, very well.
He's built on something solid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Here you go. I told you what I used to do. Listen here. Listen. He sit there. Chicks want to play the game. His little heart was broken. I'll never forget it. We was just talking about it the other day. And she kept calling and he was all in love. And she's like, I think we should break up. He all distraught. Now, see, here's the thing. He's young. He living with me. He distraught. So that affects my happy. Because I'm like, what's wrong? That girl called that phone. I took that phone when he fell asleep. I snuck in there. That phone was ringing and ringing and ringing with all these texts and dingings. I seen that and she said, I think we should break up. I typed back, okay. And explanation, no, okay, period. And then I powered the phone off. Oh, I got her.
She probably wanted him the next morning because he didn't answer no more than the text.
Listen, was going crazy. He ain't know what was going on. I had to turn the phone back on before he would get up. I was like, okay, he about to get up. But I needed him to sleep. But girl, you are not about to sit there and spin my son. That ain't about to happen. I got his back 110. Now, when he wrong. But one thing I don't do is, and see, that's a lot of the problem. I do not get in young folks, anybody younger than me, relationship issues. I don't care. Don't call me talking about this, and mine don't. They don't. Talk to your friends about that. You know, if you got issues, you talk to your friends. I have never been that one. I'm not that invested in what y'all got going on.
But you know why?
Why?
Because you're a good parent.
I'm like, that's y'all stuff.
He don't run to you for stupid stuff. You probably don't hear from your son. You probably got to call.
I have to call him.
Yeah, because he ain't worried about you. And he's, hey, Mom. Yeah, I'm good. Love you too. And he ain't making conversation. He just answered questions when you call.
Listen, and you are right, because I remember going to his apartment and he ain't even have no food. I happened to just go up there. I was like, you ain't got no fruit snacks? I'm like, so he doesn't call. I'm like, no, we need to go to the grocery store and get something. But he was like, I'm good. So there you go. But listen, he can knock on the door. But I think I might be the last resort.
And you're supposed to be. Yo, here, look at your text. You're supposed to be the last resort. You're supposed to be. Figure it out yourself. You're grown. I'm not going to be here. You're grown. You have to learn to figure it out yourself. And if you don't, that is the Allah Supreme Amber D. Red flag.
Amber D's red flag.
Going on sale soon. Get them at Shop Top Apparel.
That's a 3x5.
Listen, okay, get her some shirts with the red flags.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I want to get back. I got to get back to this for my people out there because we got to give them some substance. So what you said, your point of view is when you see a single mother of a certain age, and if their son is there, guys ain't really dealing with them. But if they have a daughter, you're more apt to come on the scene.
Yeah, and take the certain age out of it. I don't care if that dude's 7. Just like you said, if you want to see how a woman like a man, look at how she dressed her son. Of course. Because guess what? She's grooming him to be her man.
I don't think that's true.
I think, well, why else would it be? Why else would you put this dude?
Because that's what you're attracted to, but that don't mean like you grooming your son to be your man since you like the way you dress.
Gotcha.
How you dress is how you'll be addressed.
Okay, well, guess what? Well, he's going to be addressed as my man, the man I like. And guess what? You ain't going to be telling the man I like, and this, that, and the other, my man. You ain't, a man is powerless against a woman with her son.
Now, I agree with that because you know what I do. To a certain extent, I guess maybe he knew too because it was this one guy. He was like, oh, my mother's not going to like you. You don't even take your hat off when you walk into a church. He knew. Look, I'm like, he definitely knew. Let me get these hot topics real quick. Do you know what NFL player used to be a stripper?
Me? Oh, no.
No.
Ocho Cinco. Guess what his stripper name used to be? Twix. Thin, dark, and he said veiny.
Oh, well. You know the story behind. You know about Ocho Cinco.
Now listen here, we gonna let that go. But let me tell you this.
Ocho Cinco's incredibly.
Hold on, I got to get this through. Kim K and Odell Beckham Jr. been seen being friendly.
Who?
Kim K and Odell Beckham Jr. His mother's stressed.
Well, he's just trying to get that gay moniker off of it.
Well, he got to do something because he keep getting hurt. But if I was his mother, I'd be super duper stressed. Comedian Monique is back on the scene this time. Why her husband be sitting back there? See that right there? That's a turn off. Man, just go sit on the side. You don't got to be in the camera. Monique is actually speaking out for her and Countess Bond for the show The Parkers. So she's coming for CBS. They're not getting residuals. Did you realize what? Yeah, and they play The Parkers. Did you realize that once a network sells something off to a streaming network, that once they're on the streaming network, they don't get residuals?
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't either, so I learned that too. I was like, oh, Smokey Robinson, real quick. Why is Uncle Smokey telling everybody about him and Diana Ross's affair? Uncle Smokey, like you like 100.
He's the one foot is in the grave, and he wants to tell his business.
Smokey Robinson talking about his affair with Diana Ross. So are you not about to say Auntie Diana that got ran through by Motown?
We all know that. But I mean,
we didn't need somebody to actually voice it. Like, come on, man.
It's old news.
Okay.
I don't support that.
Now listen.
I have one.
Wait a minute. Ebony Magazine posted Little Kim, since she's like a pioneer, since we celebrating 50 years of hip hop.
New picture.
Listen, it's a new picture that's retouched. It don't even look like her. They should have put the old one.
Look like herself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she could walk in here. I wouldn't know who she is. Little Kim is.
See, well, they got her retouched, and she looks totally different. For my people who watched The Wheel of Fortune, I just want to let you guys know, Vanna White decided to come back. And I know y'all like, what? Because remember, she was striking too. Everybody's striking. The UAW, the teachers around here, at least they stopped. The writers in Hollywood, and Vanna White, she said she wanted more money. Watch this.
She get $1 million a show.
$3 million. That lady was making $3 million to flip the letters. So they actually had an agreement, and she got it. And who will be hosting it is Ryan Seacrest. So he'll be joining in the Wheel of Fortune. So there you have it, lovely people. I just had to give y'all what's happening. What you got real quick, because we got to get moving.
Do you know why you'll never see the Little Rascals?
Why?
Never see the Little Rascals anymore? Because Bill Cosby didn't like how they were treating Buckwheat and Steinman and bought the rights and said you will never see it again.
Oh.
You can't find the Little Rascals online. He
There
owned
you
the
go.
rights and he shut it down.
Okay, Bill, you shut it down. Let's see what happened to Monique. Why her husband got to be sitting back there like that? Like, get off the line, dude. Get off the camera.
Because I'm alpha and it's my wife and I have to be shown up front.
See, that don't sound like no alpha. That sound like a zeta, all the way to the Z. Throw him all the way back.
It's Samuel the Simp. That's going to be.
I can't write. It sound like you got I need some attention and somebody see me.
Answer. I'll bring Samuel the Simp to the show.
You off the hook. Crazy. Let me give you these final thoughts in Jerry Springer's words. Today's footnote. Let's see what we got. There you go. Okay, I'm going to put that up there. Yep, I think he an instigator too, girl.
Ooh. I think
Yeah.
her husband.
Her husband. All right, today's footnote. In the word of the church, it is already written. So regardless of what'll happen to me, what's going to go on with me, giving everybody advice, people are going to do just what they do. Peopling. So remember, it is already written. Watch stress. All right. That is my time, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. each and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can reach us on any podcast, wherever you get your podcast, at Shop Talk with Mel, all socials. Don't forget to like us and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is down below. I would truly appreciate that. Like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when we have a new episode coming on. All right. This is it. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. Shop Talk. Look at that. Such a delay. But I love you guys for listening.